Sub Squadron, we're back.
I hate you.
Oh my, we're not talking about this today, but this is very, very bad. We're not just gonna glance past this, but we're not talking about it today. We're gonna talk about all the L's boxing has been taking recently, because I've had a lot of salty boxing fans adding me in comment sections, sending me things on TikTok, telling me how boxing is still better than MMA, still bigger, but they're just coping. MMA is proving itself once again superior to boxing, as it keeps doing year by year, week by week, day by day. Things come out, boxing versus MMA. It's always been a massive draw. We know Mayweather versus McGregor sold like 4.5 million pay-per-views at $100 a buy. We all saw that clip of Dana talking about it with a smug, like, yeah, little shark look in his face, you know what I mean? MMA versus boxing is a massive draw because it's combat, conflict, and it's two different combat sports, so there's a lot to talk about. And boxing icons or figures and boxers themselves, of course, are very prideful, and they think that this sweet science is the best martial art known to man, the best to watch, the most effective. And boxing is very effective, don't get me wrong, especially when someone knows how to defend against other arts, and they're able to force the boxing exchanges, the range, and their footwork is able to work because they have the takedown defense needed, and they have the leg kick defense needed. That's when you get a fighter like Ilia Topuria, who is able to win multiple championships with their boxing. Even Conor McGregor, his boxing was insane. Alright? It's not the conventional kind of sweet science boxing you see, because it doesn't work in MMA. But yeah, boxing, of course, is effective, but I'm just mainly talking about the sport of boxing and the L's that the sport of boxing has been taking recently. And also just to, kind of talk about how prideful these boxers really are, and how this isn't disrespect that's unwarranted. It's not even disrespect, this is just calling it how it is, and MMA fighters have been disrespected by boxers for so long, purely because Jake Paul was knocking out retired wrestlers, like Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. They aren't MMA strikers, they're retired wrestlers, and don't get me started on Anderson Silva, he's 50 years old, right? So anything you see from him in his boxing fights, cool. But he's 50, it's like, you're not going to hold a boxer to the same standard if you came into MMA. But there's a reason we don't see these boxer versus MMA fights in a cage. We see it in a ring because, again, MMA superior, and Bobby Green represents MMA and puts respect on MMA's name, and that's what we needed. That's what we needed. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But Bobby Green's been talking about the pride of these boxers for years now. This clip is like 2 or 3 years old, I think. But I know he's been talking about it for years. I couldn't find the other one where he was talking about how they called him a kicker and a scratcher and a biter. But I found this one. We're just going to quickly show this one and then a couple clips from the fight. I'm going to show a couple other L's boxing's been taking.
Back to Mayweather. So I go in there and they don't know who I am or anything. So I go in there and go, hey, Roger, who should I go ask somebody to do some rounds with? So I'll go ask such over there, him. Go over there, hey, bro, I'm Bobby Green, a pleasure to meet you, bro. Is it cool if we could do a couple rounds, I'm not sparring this week. Maybe I'll spar you next week or some shit. I'm like, oh, bro, I'm only here for the day, I'm saying? I'm not even.
This is exactly what they were doing at AB's gym as well. No one really wanted to spar him. Respected Bang for actually sparring him.
Go hard enough, then
but they didn't really want to spar him.
if you want to get some rounds?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no, maybe you should go ask him over there. I'll go ask him over there. He go, you should go ask him over there. I'll go over ask him, and I'm going all around the room asking everybody. They keep sending me to people, and nobody wants to box me. So Mayweather comes, and Mayweather's like, get it, somebody get in there with him. Nobody wants to get in there with this kid. So I slide in. Hey, can I get in? Can I box? They're like, oh, hell no, get him out of there, I'm like, bro, can I just want to box? Yeah. No, you're stupid, he's gonna get knocked out. A little Puerto Rican kid. He must look like he about 135er, maybe, 145er. He's like, bro, you're a little bigger than me. I'm like, bro, listen, I'm not even trying to do that. I just want to go. I start boxing, and everybody just goes, they're looking at me like they ain't never seen a nigga like me, because I ain't put my hands up, and I didn't do this,
and this is the exact same thing that happened in Adrian Broner's gym, sorry. They were looking at him like they didn't know what the hell was going on. He was, fighting awkwardly, fighting unorthodox, because he is an MMA fighter, he's not a boxer, and they didn't know what they were looking at. And he was able to outbox them.
And I didn't have no headgear, and I outboxed the fuck out that nigga, And I didn't have to hurt him or nothing. I just styled him and showed him he couldn't hit me, and I can hit you whenever I want to hit you. I can't stand boxers when they do that. I'm like, stop being like conceited, or, We're humble, bro. Like, I'll scrap with anybody. Back to me.
as he said, he'll scrap with anybody because fight is fight, man. So he was calling out the fade in Mayweather's gym. No one wanted to give him it. He was calling out the same fade in AB's gym. No one wanted to give him it. So he forced the issue. If you keep asking, if you're gonna duck a fade from Bobby Green, you better duck it correctly because he's gonna follow up. He's gonna keep trying to make sure that you cannot duck his fade, and he's gonna make you cash the check your mouth for it. And that's what these boxers don't like. So Bobby Green versus Bang. These are some highlights. I think we get some.
Nothing. Shut up. Nothing. That shit slow as fuck, man. That shit too slow.
So Bang's saying that shit's slow as fuck and all this, but he's getting hit, man. He's saying it's slow and yada yada yada. He's talking shit like his head's not bouncing. And I think Bobby Green even says that later on. He's like, your head bouncing, gang.
Let's go. Work, man, work. Keep working.
But you can see here, he's not even throwing with full power.
Yeah.
You sorry at your own shit.
Wake up.
You sorry at your own shit.
He's sorry at your own shit, that's what he's telling him while he's hitting and moving. Every time he misses, he's yelling airball. So just like in this clip where he said he outboxed the kid, didn't need to hurt him, he proves it again. He was outboxing Bang, just doesn't need to hurt him. By hitting him and saying, shut up, shut up.
What's happening, my nigga? What's happening, nigga?
Bop, bop, bop. The cameraman turns it so they don't see. Bop, 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 bop.
I'm gonna earn every punch I got.
Alright,
Ready? Ready? Oh, nigga, this time.
glancing shot kind of misses.
What's my balls?
Turns that body shot. Misses again, but his range and his speed is awkward. Shut up. And Bang's saying nothing because, you know, those shots weren't starting. Still getting hit way more than he's hitting.
No, bitch ass nigga missed it. I know what I should do. Take your head every time. Oh, airball.
Airball as he blocks that shit perfectly. That.
Nothing.
Shut up.
Nothing. That shit slow as fuck, man.
It's like, you know, again, he said slow as fuck while getting hit. It's just not a good look. You get the general gist. If you want to watch the full clips, go around, look at it. There is some, you know, it's a very good spar overall. It's 6 rounds. And Bobby was piecing him up, man, the whole time, telling him to shut up, talking to Dean, talking to AB. Big L for boxing. And Bang Williams, people are saying that he is a bum. People are saying that he's not an elite guy. I don't know where the clip went, but there is a clip of Adrian Broner saying that he is elite.
Stupid, bro. Come on, bro. You got live stitches in your face. Why is you trying to spar? It ain't like you sparring like just anybody. This is an elite. He ain't just anybody, gang.
And that's Adrian Broner. So for all you experts, all you boxing experts that are saying Bang is elite, isn't elite, Bang is bad, Bang his record means nothing, etc. Going into this, Adrian Broner was saying he was elite. He was gonna knock Bobby Green out. Come on, man. We saw how that shit went. Being prideful. And so that's a big L. That's the most recent L boxing's been taking. But boxing has been taking many L's. This isn't the first L boxing's taken recently. So we're going to talk about a couple others. The first sanctioned boxing match was in, I know it says 1681, but the first respected one, 1921. Jack Dempsey versus Georges Carpenter. Cool. 1921. First MMA fight, 1993, man. 72-year head start. 72-year head start. And what's been doing better recently? It's not only competing with boxing for viewership and attention, but in many aspects surpassing. Obviously, we can look into this more. We can compare what's passing bit by bit, etc. But in terms of growth, MMA is blowing boxing out of the water. And it makes sense, obviously. Much newer sport. But it's already on the same-ish level of boxing and growing so much faster. Even Dana White himself is trying to revive boxing a little bit, man. As if for boxing. But man, these combat sport athletes are having too much success in boxing. Look at this, for example. This is the most recent corruption in boxing. Usyk versus Rico. Rico wins upwards of 9 rounds against Usyk, dominates the fight, and they jump in after the bell. You hear that ding at 2 seconds away? That was the bell. And they caught it beforehand. All because Rico got dropped once. He recovers, he's telling the ref about his mouthpiece, etc. He goes to throw back, realizes that's not smart. Shells up. Gets hit with like 2 shots clean, maybe? Not rocking, his legs aren't that rocked, he's fatigued, it's the 11th round. And they step in. And he's perfectly there, his head's there, he's already talking to the ref. The commentators themselves said, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? And these are boxing commentators. They saved Usyk from losing the boxing title, the heavyweight championship. Live on Design Boxing. They almost lost that to a kickboxer and couldn't let it happen and had to step in and make sure that didn't happen. This would never happen the other way around. Can you imagine Usyk going into kickboxing and doing that to Rico? It's not possible. It would be a 2-round fight max. And there's a reason we don't even see it, because everyone knows it'd be a 2-round fight. But I'd love to see it if boxing fans think that this is defendable. They think that Usyk can go into kickboxing and do what Rico did. Man, I'm trying to see it then. Oh my god, not this guy again. Oh my god. But man, this is terrible. This is a bad case of corruption. And it's just another L that boxing has taken. And they keep taking them. Even before this, Fury vs. Ngannou. One of the first L's that boxing took to MMA. Man, this was embarrassing. This is the champion. Can you imagine this happening in MMA? Drops him. 0-0 fighter. Drops the heavyweight champion in boxing. Like, this would never happen in MMA. It would be... Oh, just another L. And even still, like... You know, McGregor vs. Mayweather. McGregor vs. Mayweather. You weasel. This is a massive fight, obviously. Everyone knows what happened here.
Wobbly and hurt. Oh,
MMA is becoming the big brother, and all the salty boxing fans are coping really, really hard with it. And you know, hopefully I attracted a lot of them to this video. I want to get a little debate going. I do think boxing is extremely entertaining, extremely effective in MMA. I think the actual sport of boxing just can't stop taking L's. And that's, you know, a quick video for today. Just got to talk about boxing. Keep taking L's, brother. Keep taking L's. Blah, 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 blah.
Shut up.
Shut up, shut up. Oh, clean uppercut.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up. Oh, another one.
Right?
Clean.
Another one. Oh, this is really sweet. First of all, he has him biting on everything.
This is
Bite
true
on
as
that,
well.
bit on that.
Made him a robot.
And then he cleans the jab clean.
Made him a robot. MMA will always be better. Come on now. Except for this guy. Holy shit. Get him off my screen. Cock. Cock. Cock.